So it's June 11th. I was going to do another garden tour. Here's the persimmon tree. It's putting on a ton of new growth this year. It keeps on raining in June, which is crazy. Here's the ginkgo with a bunch of garlic underneath of it. We got some oregano. We got some currants coming on these bushes. These are some flowers of some kind. I always forget what they are until they actually flower. Got a whole bunch of random ones. An artichoke, lilac bush, some currants here. This is a blueberry I planted last year. It's just got a few blueberries. The fava beans are starting to turn into pea pods now. This is elephant garlic there, and Asian pear. Got some chamomile here. This is a blueberry that's actually got quite a few on it. The artichokes are starting to really grow quick, so I'm gonna have more artichokes than we can eat here in a couple weeks. The figs are really starting to get big quick now, so every year what I do now is pick off all the second crop that come on. There'll be little second ones, and I'll pick those off as soon as they start coming on, and then all these bigger figs will turn, they'll all get ripe that way. Otherwise only like a quarter of them will get ripe. Finally got around to weeding this area because it was just getting insane. Got another artichoke. This is all garlic. So every time I cook anything, I basically come out here and we'll just pull out one of these little heads of garlic, which right now are not wanting to come out, but you can see them down there. I'm gonna go down to the backyard. Got a ton of figs on this tree here. I'm trying something called air layering. So what you do is peel off some of the bark, and then you put this thing around full with dirt, basically, or potting soil, and then roots will grow from this branch into here in about a month or two, and then you can cut the branch off if it roots and turn this whole thing into a new fig tree. So you can save yourself years growing from a small start. If this works, you can plant basically a whole new tree. So that's really cool. Got my purple tree collards along the fence here. In the backyard, since I've been sick all week, I haven't really even had a chance to come out and do anything. And it's absolutely turned into a jungle because it keeps raining in June, we didn't get any rain in June last year at all. So with the heat plus the rain, things grow like a jungle. This is a tulip tree start that I was gonna plant in the front yard, and some other starts. There's another tulip tree. Let's see. So these tomatoes are somehow already starting to ripen in June. Usually I don't get tomatoes till like late August, or late July, sorry. So another month, but I'm gonna get whatever variety this is very early, so I'll have to keep track of that. Peas are already coming up, starting to flower, and probably get peas here finally in a couple weeks or so. This is a kale that's going to seed. I need to just take it out of here. They're freaking huge. We got more peas. Unfortunately, the problem with this rain, every time I come out, these weeds that I had picked before are already back, like with a vengeance. So I don't know if it's even worth trying to keep up with them, because there's like thousands of weeds out here. These are potatoes that are starting to come up. So there's potatoes kind of scattered everywhere. There's potatoes here, and then this is that weed that keeps spreading out everywhere, but there's potatoes coming up in between everywhere. And these are beets down here. The strawberries are starting to finally come on. These are kind of in the shade, so they don't get ripe too quick, but in the next month or so should have a lot of strawberries. And then chives are starting to flower. This is getting insane. So this is comfrey, but there's also tons of potatoes mixed in down here. I mean, I've never seen stuff grow like this in the backyard before. It's never rained this much before in June. But there's potatoes mixed in with raspberries, and there's a plum or a pear tree that's getting hidden inside all of that. The grape up here on my new grape trellis is starting to take off, so it's kind of filling it out, and the nectarines are starting to form, and then the cherries, there's a ton of cherries, so those will be ripe probably within the next few weeks. I'll start to get those. I actually can see some starting to turn red. Oh man. So this would be first cherry of the year. So that is cool. Got potatoes and some new raspberries. I planted a couple different varieties here. I was gonna have kind of grow up into that trellis as well. This is a raspberry. It's pretty huge. It's got a ton of raspberries on it, and it's just kind of spread out here and shooting up new raspberries here. So I'll probably finally have a lot of raspberries this year. This apple tree is starting to fill out with tons of apples, and then you can see some peaches up at the top of the peach tree, so that's cool because it looked kind of bad on the bottom half, was kind of dead, but there's a bunch at the top, so should still get peaches this year. Here's some more raspberries, and the comfrey keeps growing. It's like as high as my fence now in some spots. So over here, the comfrey has grown as tall as the fence. Usually it's only like 2 feet tall, but with the rain, it's just exploded. And then the pond, I should see. Nope, I can't see the goldfish. And there's a frog in there now too that found its way in. So there's tons of fava beans everywhere popping. So once those are ripe, they taste really good when they're ripe, but not right now. Maybe another couple weeks. And then these are pears popping on the tree. Got apples. Tons more figs up here. The tree collards. So usually for breakfast, if I do like a skillet or something, I'll come out and take off like a leaf off each plant or two. And then I've got this Bosque pear over here. Looks like there's a few on it. This thing's still only a few years old, so not expecting a whole lot. There's a blueberry getting engulfed by the comfrey over here, but there's a lot of blueberries on it. So basically today I need to come out here and weed like a massive amount of weeds, but there's so many weeds that I fill up my green bin and I can't even keep up with them right now. These tree collard leaves are getting really big right now, so this is definitely the best time of the year to use these. You can turn them into kind of like kale chips if you put them in the oven. Put some olive oil and seasoning on them. And those are just basically unlimited greens. This is arugula. It's starting to flower. So every year I just let this go to seed, and then it just keeps planting more each year. I don't have to do anything with that. Have arugula about half the year. This is some thyme, the herb thyme. And the onions keep on growing. Oh, shoot. I was gonna say they're growing seed pods, which are really cool because they flower, but I just busted that one off, whoops. Got a tomato here in the ground. I'm about to plant some more cucumbers, tomatoes, and some other veggies today. Got a broccoli here starting to form a head. Yeah, and that's about it. It's an absolute freaking jungle out here. That's why I wanted to do a video, because the yard has never looked like this. It's always usually like this time last year. I think it was really dry, and I don't think that there was even half this much green growth out here.